All right, my friends, here is another edition from the basic series. Today, we're going to look at bike positioning. So if you missed the episode on bike fit, please make sure and do that first. And when you have done that, when you feel great about your bike fit, go ahead and jump on to your bike. So the first thing I want to say about bike positioning is what you wear is going to make a difference. So if you're going to be doing more than 1 hour a week of riding indoors, I would like you to invest in a good pair of cycling shoes and bike shorts. Both of those are going to make your experience much, much better. You don't have to spend a lot, but they definitely help. Okay? So remember that we always want to start at the hips when we're doing bike fit and bike positioning. This is where all of our strength is in this sport, and this is where we can really get the most power. So we want to make sure our hips are in the right position. So I want you to just feel back on that saddle, and you can feel where the thickest, heaviest part of the saddle is. That's where I want you to position your sitting bones. So you might have to reach underneath and kind of like dig in the cupcake and feel, wiggle your sitting bones right down onto the back of the saddle. And then the next thing that's super important is that you find the crease of your hip, just below your hip bones, top of your thigh. And I want you to fold there. Okay, so I'm gonna do that a few times so you can see. My lower back is not changing right here. It's got a little curve in it. And as I come forward, I keep that curve. In other words, I'm not getting to my handlebars by rounding my back, okay? I see that a lot. I see people tuck their hips under, tuck their tailbone, and they ride like this. Super uncomfortable and really inefficient, but also over time, you're gonna really hurt your back. So sitting bones back, crease of the hips, come forward, and you might even just keep your thumbs in that little space for a second and just really get familiar with that. Then settle your hands. All right, so as you start to pedal, you're gonna notice the obvious. There is pressure on the front of your pelvis. As you are a new rider, that's gonna be really uncomfortable, and there's actually no way around it. Because the alternative is to come back to here, where you're inefficient and stressful, and potential injury can occur. So we're gonna trade that off for a little bit of discomfort, and any rider will tell you, you get used to it, that your legs get stronger, your core gets stronger, and you're able to sit lighter in the saddle over time, okay? I promise, just you gotta trust me on this one. So we've got that positioning of the hips, and you could put a little bit of resistance on the wheel. And you'll notice that as soon as you have something to push with your feet, you're able to lift, engage your core and lift up away from the saddle and not be so heavy in that pelvic floor. So that's a key, is keep a little bit on the wheel at all times. All right. So let's go down first and then we'll come back up. So from the hips, next joint is your knee, and you want to make sure that knee is tracking straight in the direction of your toes. You want to make sure you're not squeezing in and popping out, right? You want to keep your knees nice and straight over your feet. The ball of the foot right on the pedal. So if you're wearing sneakers and you're in your shoe cages, you're going to want to pull your foot out just a little bit and then tighten those straps. That's going to help you keep your foot secure on the pedal. So far, so good. Another little landmark, if you reach back, there's your tailbone. That should be pointing backwards, not tucked under you, okay? All right, come back up. Let's go core. So your pelvis, your hips are set. I want you to lift your belly button in and up. Think of trying to pull your navel up into your rib cage. Lengthen through the spine. We want this neutral, so whatever we were doing right here, we're also doing here. Coming up from there, the shoulder blades are on your back, so give your shoulder blades a little squeeze. Try to keep that strong back there. so you're not doing that. All right, shoulders down away from your ears. We always want a light bend in the elbows. Always want a little bit of ability to just kind of be, you know, they're kind of like shock absorbers. Hands are always light on the handlebars. You can be here in the center, thumb over thumb. I like to ride with my hands a little wider. And when we stand, we reach to the top of the handlebars, okay? So we got the hands, we've got the elbows, we've got the shoulders, we've got the core, pelvis, knees, feet. Often I will tell you, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. That's to prevent you from squeezing hands and feet. All right, so take this exact posture at a little bit of resistance and then make your body look the same, except come above the saddle. So you can see when we're standing, my hips are still barely tapping the saddle. I'm not coming way up here, right? I still have that nice bend, crease in my hip. My knees are still tracking over my feet. Hands are light, elbows are soft, shoulders relaxed. So whether you're sitting or standing, your posture stays the same. Got it? All right, last thing, push forward before you push down. We're gonna call that the push point or the power phase. That's where you have the most strength in your pedal stroke is out front. So see if you can feel that. Just kind of get behind the pedals a little bit and push them forward. So that is a little tutorial on riding technique, riding posture. Go ahead and watch the bike fit video if you haven't seen that yet. And join me for some more basics. And of course, longer rides. Have a fantastic day.